Hi guys, today I am going to show you how I made this DIY scrap wood tabletop. The pine boards were taken from a bench that I built years ago, and the cedar boards were extra scrap boards that I had lying around. I used Kreg Jig pocket holes and wood glue to connect all of the different boards together for this tabletop. After letting the wood glue dry, I then grabbed my hand planer, my DeWalt hand planer, and scraped off the top layers of paint and stain and evened out the boards. They weren't exactly connected with keeping them straight in mind. I knew I was going to use the planer. This is a DIY scrap wood tabletop for my garage, so I wanted it to have a rustic look and not be too perfect because it is a garage tabletop and it is going to get dirty and beaten up over the years. So I wanted to give it a rustic feel that would age well, and every dent is just going to make it look better and better. Next, I grabbed some 80 grit sandpaper and my orbital sander to smooth out the small fine lines that are left behind by that hand planer. Once the whole surface had been sanded with the 80 grit, I filled in a few of the bigger joints really with DAP plastic wood, or any wood filler would work. I let that set and dry, and then I came back with 120 grit sandpaper the next time and gave it a really good sanding with that 120 grit. Make sure you always clean off the boards between grits so that you don't accidentally put deep swirls into the wood with an orbital sander. After the 120 grit, I went to the 180 grit. Again, I was really thorough with the sanding to make sure I got the boards nice and smooth. Then I cleaned them off again and poured on some Danish oil. I love using Danish oil because the color is great and it soaks into your wood and actually makes it stronger than it would have been, more durable than it would have been without the oil. Once the Danish oil sets for 5 minutes, I wipe away any excess that's left behind and let that dry before using a cream chalk paint to whiten the boards, give it a whitewash. I used a wet rag to apply that chalk paint, thinner than it would have been if I had just used a brush. And then I used a clean rag to wipe away all of the excess paint that was left behind. You want to make sure that you wipe away that excess paint before it has a chance to dry, because once it's dried, your only option really is to sand away any excess paint. After that, I applied 2 coats of a water-based clear poly, and my DIY scrap wood tabletop was ready to go. So I think combining that whitewashed finish with scrap boards or reclaimed boards for a tabletop is a beautiful look. This is my garage, but I think it would look really classy in a house too, and I'm actually thinking about doing something like this to my laundry table. So stay tuned, and I'll be sharing more of this garage makeover soon.